I guess exorcism requires a lot of energy. After the movie, all I felt was sadness. Justice for the pig. It got praised just to be betrayed. Oh my piggy piggy, oh my piggy piggy. The story follows an exorcist
No shit.
who is being assigned to help a child who has been possessed by a demon. At first, he did it out of respect for his pope and his duty, but he soon finds out that the demon is actually coming for him, and a bigger and more evil secret is slowly unveiled as the exorcist keeps digging deeper into the case. The exorcist has to use his expertise to stop the demon from destroying the world once and for all. First things first, great movie runtime. It is a horror movie and a very packed one without a single dull moment. If it's not doing exorcist stuff, then it is building backstories for characters, which is a surprise in a movie like this. The pacing is controlled very well, especially during the mission. The start is also great, but I'll talk about it later. Each scene serves its purpose and never overstays its welcome. Once the information is conveyed, it moves on to the next scene. No extra little moment that is unnecessary to the plot. If something is shown, it serves the story. And it is great with how complete the story is with that duration. Awesome time with the movie. I'm not a horror movie maniac who watches every horror movie there is. I would say I'm pretty inexperienced in that regard, but even so, I don't get scared either. The movie is not that scary at all, at least for me. And watching it, the horror is not the biggest highlight anyway. This is a supernatural mystery film that just happened to have an exorcist as its lead. So if you're looking forward to get scared, I'm afraid it might disappoint you. It does have those chasing ghost type of scene, but the ghost itself is not that scary. It's whether the lead have the time to save them. The real tension is the character's journey, which is done so well that I was at the edge of my seat for the majority of the time, not because I'm scared, but I'm genuinely rooting for the protagonist to save them. But as I said, that is not the best thing about the film. My absolute favorite is the world building and the character works. The opening scene is very entertaining. We get the suspense of how all things work, and the script doesn't just jump into the battle immediately. Instead, we get a very efficient and well done character building scene with the exorcist taking care of the victim's family before he battles the demon. And pair that with Russell Crowe's excellent portrayal of this Italian character. Now I know nothing about Gabriel Amorth or the whole exorcist stuff, but Russell Crowe and the script makes me want to care. And the Amorth character is not just a simple good guy who fights evil. The world building puts a lot of pressure on him due to his past, and the past mistakes now come back to bite him in the form of his superior and the demon. This leads to a very awesome tense scene where he is being interrogated by his superior, and Russell Crowe is amazing in the scene. Full of rage, charisma, and heart. This makes the story and the character connect. The story pushes the character, and the character progresses the story. I love this aspect so much. It feels very complete before the tease of another 199 movies. I'm not kidding, there's almost 200 sequels to this. Amorth's backstory is also simple but effective, and it fits his character's action in the time period of the film. It also makes his character multi-layered, and each layer is supported by his backstory, which makes him a very compelling character despite telling jokes all the time. And the jokes are also given an explanation which suits him very well. This well-rounded writing also seamlessly mixes a few jokes into the tense movie very well, which is well done, as comedy and horror rarely works together. This movie kind of found the perfect balance for both elements. The weaker character would be the family, but yet they are fleshed out just enough to make me care. Their introduction scenes are very efficient, and it quickly shows me their relationship, their position and stage in life, and this helps me to get into the movie fast and deeply as I love this character. As of world building, it is mainly done within the first act by creating this religious world very well. I see the entire system of this society, roles of each member, and the power hierarchy within the system. But the ending is kinda going a little bit overboard. It suddenly turns into a James Bond exorcist. Like if James Bond is an exorcist, that is what the base will look like, and the operation looks like probably, and he will be assigned to different missions to stop world-threatening situations. The ending is a little bit weird. The editing is amazing as well. There is a lot of cutting back and forth between realms, if you will, with the demon keep doing the mind trick stuff. The middle part where the story breaks into two lines is also edited very well. The big evil plan unveiled with the family getting murdered. The editing makes both lines equally important and tense, and I couldn't take my eyes off any one of the stories. And pair that with the excellent script and acting, those are so entertaining and suspenseful. The sound design is also very good. As the movie is not that focused on scaring me, the sound definitely knows when to kick in to start building the suspense and use the unknown towards this suspense to create tension. Once the reveal happened and the battle begins, the score started to get less noticeable as nothing really impressive took place. The mystery is very complex, but being told in a very simple way, which makes it very easy to understand. The mystery slowly gets unveiled and every bit of information adds so much more to the lore as well, and how the plot progresses towards the battle between the Exorcist and the demon. The characters' backstory are also integrated into the mystery very well, so it comes naturally instead of just spitting out their motivation. The most notable bad thing I would say is the special effects. The CGI is a little bit horrendous in the film. They are so fake, especially when they move. It looks like an old PS games. Those don't fit in at all, and luckily there is not a lot of CGI in the film. Not a lot like you would imagine an Exorcist film would have, but no, still acceptable level. I had a very enjoyable time with this film. Not very long, and every second is very entertaining. Not scary at all, it is more about the story and the characters' growth, with surprisingly lots of world building. So if you don't do well with horror, don't worry too much. If you love to get scared, and that's kind of your thing going into the movie, you will be disappointed. But I think a well-rounded story is more important than the meaningless jump scare and all that stuff. I like it a lot. Keanu, Hugh Grant, and now Russell Crowe. These old-timers continue to keep up with the good work recently, and you love to see it. This past 6 weeks has been a wild ride in terms of movie and my pocket. Lots of entertaining movies and a bad one. And now this one is good, not bad. I had a great time. I think this movie is worth a watch. Not necessarily need to be watched, but if you have the time and the money to spare, why not?
Move along.